Chances are, if you lived on Long Island, you grew up enjoying hot summer days at Jones Beach State Park. You've probably seen college kids pushing red carts, selling ice cream, and thought little of it. But there is so much more to the story behind these red carts and the man that started it, Rob Guerra. This is a story of inspiration and ice cream, the people pushing these red carts, and it all started with Rob's promise to his uncle. It's the start of summer, and the Jones Beach Memorial Day Air Show is considered one of the best in the country, drawing between 300 to 400,000 spectators over the holiday weekend. And with perfect weather forecasted, it's all hands on deck for what promises to be another busy summer selling ice cream across the beaches of Long Island.
Yeah, we go through a lot of ice cream. Offhand, I really can't tell you how much. Preparation for the air show is really a dynamic thing. It takes a couple of weeks just to get ready for that air show, because safety is a big factor, and we have this four-wheel dune buggy that's on the beach with hundreds and thousands of people here, so we got to be really cautious with that. We want to make sure that all the vendors go out with enough ice cream. We want to make sure that they're not running into anybody that's on the beach. It's really hard for them to maneuver around because of the amount of people that are on the beach. So that's why we always have a big abundance of vendors, and they just stay put right where they are. It just makes it easier all around. And my insurance company loves it. I breathe easier, and it's just good to know everybody's just having a great time. Part of the marketing technique. Banner. And he's all set to go. I go through about 30,000 pounds of dry ice a season, which is it's a lot of dry ice. And those blocks of ice are 50 pounds each. And I've got scars. These are my summer scars to prove that I also am hands-on employee, hands-on supervisor, owner of the company. Yeah, that's me. So I want to be there. I want to know and experience what my employees are feeling when they're out there. They're the ones with the toes in the sand, boots on the ground. So they're out there. They're telling me everything. They tell me their needs, what works, what doesn't work.
The world-famous Jones Beach State Park covers an expansive 6.5 miles of Long Island's South Shore. The main feature is a 4-mile-long boardwalk along the beach with various eating facilities, a game section for cornhole, shuffleboard, mini golf, and basketball, along with several volleyball courts, a swimming pool, bathhouse, several gift shops, local bands performing at a band shell, pickleball courts, and Wild Plays Adventure rope course and zip line. Jones Beach can attract over 6 million people every year. While some come to ride bikes and walk the boardwalk, most come for the sand and the waves. Each morning, the carts are lined up, and it's a team effort to get all the carts ready for a day out at the beach. Dry ice is added, and the carts are stocked with a variety of ice creams, like strawberry shortcake, chocolate eclair, king cones, and ice cream sandwiches. They also carry Chipwich Cookies ice cream sandwiches, Spider-Man themed and SpongeBob themed ice cream bars, Bomb Pops, snow cones, Magnum bars, and Snickers candy bar ice cream. Each of these is also meticulously inventoried. Every cart is checked throughout the day. Carts and their handlers or vendors are in constant communications to track sales and are restocked continuously throughout the day. Supervisors in the blue shirts will run out fresh stocks of ice cream to meet the vendors on the beach. It's a continual support and communication system that goes on almost every day during the summer.
So glad to see you. We sing for the Do I know? I got a shirt for you. You guys have no shirts for right now. Why you disappeared? I had a hard time because it's 4:30 hours here. Oh yeah. Okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. If I could get everybody to come outside, we're just going to do a little talk and then we're ready to rock it out. Restrict that shit out in the water. You guys have to come outside?
Right now. I could. Dude, let me get the boxes inside.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check.
Johnny, if you come out, let the managers in here. All the vendors come out. team? Yeah, this year's team. Wow. Come right
Rob,
on
I
over
can
here.
get the sunscreen real quick?
Yeah, bring it out. Bring it out. I want everybody to sunscreen up.
Oh, I just want higher.
You got your shirt? It was on the right wing your shirt yesterday. They knew? It's on the windowsill. Oh. All right. This kid yesterday was. This kid is 15 years old, just like you were. Yeah. He looks like he's 13, right? In school, I sent out to all the schools. I sent out flyer just saying this is we're looking for students that want down if they want to work. So he responded to that, and it was on. He came down, and I gave him the math quiz and passed it right away. I was like, "What do you want to be when you get older?" He goes, "An entrepreneur." Boom, we got it. I was like, "All right." So he did the math, entrepreneur, joking around. I was like, "You want to give it a shot?" He was like, "Yeah, okay." So he went out there for. I told him to go out for 20 minutes, and he called me up and goes, "I'm loving this. Can I stay on out here?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, sure thing." And he made a lot of tips. Hunter, in that 1 hour that you were out there yesterday, how much did you make in tips? 11. What did you make total? $33 in 1 hour. That's really good. He's a little kid, but he's not. He's like you.
Did we say we were taking pictures? I need to figure out what the sunglasses told.
Oh, you're fun. You got the hot ones? Okay. All right, guys, listen up if I can. If you can hear me, okay? It's gonna be a great day. You're all gonna make a whole bunch of money. Remember the price list. Look at your menus. Some things are marked at $8. Some are marked at $6. If you need some time to do the math in your head, go ahead, figure it out. They'll wait. Okay, they're gonna tip you as well. If you have a tip button from last year, this guy here, make sure you're wearing it. Fantastic. Be friendly, be charismatic with the people. If you have a joke that you want to share, G-rated jokes, go ahead, tell them that joke. G-rated jokes. They'll love it. They'll love it. Any jokes about the airplanes, anything about going to college. You guys want to go to college, let them know what you want to do. Be personal with these people. They're really great. We're going to divide you guys up. We're going to send some of you to field 1, some to 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 6. When you need a refill, what you're going to have to do is you got to text Evan or myself, depending on which field you're at. You're also going to tell us exactly what you want, and then you're going to, if your phone has it, GPS us, let us know where you are, but it's like an hour, and then we'll get to you. When you're running low on stock, don't do it when you run out. Do it when you have like 6 or 7 items. It's going to take us a little time to get to refill you guys. Who's doing it for the first time? Okay. This day is not going to be your best day. Okay? I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be hard. You're going to be using muscles you've never used before. You're going to be attracting a lot of attention to yourself. Whether you're outgoing or not, a lot of people are going to be staring at you. I don't know if you're going to be comfortable with that, but that's the whole idea, is we want you to break through this so you're going to be comfortable. It's going to make you more personal. You're just going to become a more outgoing person like this guy. This guy used to be extremely shy when he was 16. Still am. But he broke out of that, and he's been doing this for how long now? 7 years now. 7 years. So any questions that you have, you could ask him or any other of the veterans that have been here in the past. This is Dominic. Dominic's also going to be helping you. If you see any illegal vendors, which you probably will today, we'll try to get to them if we can, but it's just going to be so crazy out there. You guys are going to be doing very well. We have suntan lotion, especially for redheaded people. June 17th is when we officially kick off, where we're open every day. Yeah, it's going to be good. Bro, you guys saw that this summer's going to be awesome.
It's still early in the morning as the air show crowds begin filling up the beaches as this busy Memorial Day start to the summer is about to begin. Rob assigns his team to various points on the beach and also shares with them tips and tricks he's learned from his own experiences.
have to stand on your cart and scream, "Ice cream! The ice cream man's here!" That's what you're gonna do to attract attention.
Rob relies on both a mix of experienced returning staff and new hires that started on this busy first weekend. Some of his team have been working summers with him for several years. This holiday weekend, he'll have over a dozen vendors out on the sand. The season is just getting underway, but still his crew from Colombia won't be here for a few more weeks.
$5 each.
Oh, hi. What do you want? Which one?
Hi, I'm Paula. I'm from Colombia and I'm living this experience for the first time in my life. Back in Colombia, I was thinking about doing something different, maybe traveling, working, and I found this opportunity thanks to Rob, and it has been amazing. Selling ice cream, it's like a really good job because you get to see people happy. Ice cream makes people happy, so the energy that you feel here, the kids, the families, it's all amazing. I've got to know a lot of people that have had changed my life. It's a really cool experience. Rob is an amazing person. He has taught me really cool things about life, about his experience, about how all of this started, and I'm glad to be a part of this all. It's my first time in New York and it's been amazing. I know that I need to come back next year. And I'm grateful for living this experience with all of this, and I'm happy about it. And I saw a little boy, well, he was not little, but he had something. He wasn't talking a lot, but when he saw me, he started clapping and laughing, and he was really, really happy to see me. So I come close to him and he started talking to me, tell me what's my name, choosing what ice cream would he want. And he was not talking that good, but I understand that he had something. And then when I gave him the ice cream and all of that, the father came to me and said that it was the first time he was communicating with the world, and it was amazing, like living that, knowing that I'm part of it, that he was trying to communicate with me, knowing that it was difficult to him, and giving the ice cream, making him happy. It was amazing, and that's a really, really grateful and cool experience that I live in this summer, selling ice creams.
I wasn't gonna have one. I'll do the chip wedge.
Of course.
Really, what one did you pick? You take the color. Oh, look, those are all.
There you go.
That one you could have too.
For
okay?
you.
Would you rather that?
For you.
This is nut free too.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
Thank
okay.
you.
So I'll get to see that
They're nut free.
There you
That's
go.
so rare to find that.
And chip wedge for you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
In general, we have had some amazing days, and people are just fine, you know. So they always say, like, you bring happiness to the beach, and that's how I look at it.
What's it like working with Rob?
Well, Rob is a really nice person, so he's been very helpful, very kind to all of us, and well, the thing that he's done for us are just great. Like, I'm so grateful for what he has done for all of us like Colombians, bringing all these people together to get on the beach in New York, which is actually, that's funny. Not too many people know there are beaches in New York, you know, so yeah, it's fun. Live in my comfort zone. That's one of the things that I appreciate the most about him. He also likes, I mean, he enjoys taking us to do something different, you know, so selling ice cream on the beach, that's something I never thought about. Going to karaoke, for example, skydiving, those are little challenges that you usually don't do, and well, overcome that situation, that little uncomfortable thing that you feel that, and then being able to go through that, it builds character. That's what I want to say, you know. So being here on the beach, going skydiving, yeah, it builds a different character. So I know for sure that I came to the US as one person, and when I go back home, I'll be different, you know. I am different now. I like to take challenges more than I used to do back in Colombia. So yeah, it's something that it really hit me, and I'm sticking to it for the rest of my life.
So,
Hello, my name is Sonia Pinzon. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I'm the beachside ballet manager in Jones Beach this year. I'm 33 years old. It's my first time as a manager. Last summer I came here as a vendor, and Rob said that I did a great job, so he wants me to manage this year. Okay, when I was a vendor, I shared a lot with people in the beach, with the kids. It was an amazing experience. I feel very happy every day doing what I did in the last summer. And now it's very different because, you know, I'm managing people, so it's very different because I don't have the experience in the beach, but with my vendors. So I think that it's very different, but of course I'm very happy, and I feel that I have grown a lot as a person, as I already told you. So I don't know, it's another thing, and now I know that I can do it a lot of things in Colombia with my job. I know that I have a lot of talents that I even know that I had it. So it's amazing this experience. And I think that we have such a nice summer. The vendors are very happy. I think that this experience is very different, like the last year, because, you know, manage people is very different to work here as a vendor. So I think that I had grown a lot as a person, as a person. So I'm very happy now, and I'm so thankful with Rob for this opportunity. Well, Rob is such a nice boss. I had told him he is the best boss we can have, because he teaches us a lot every day. Every time he's teaching, he is telling his stories. He has many to share with people. So Rob is the greatest boss I have ever dreamed.
you went skydiving?
Yeah, wow, was a nice experience. It was my second time making that. You know, every time we are in the sky, we think a lot of things. many thoughts at the same time, but you just have to control yourself and say, okay, I'm gonna do it. I have fear, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And then when you jump, everything change. Your thoughts change a lot, and you start living another, I don't know, like you start seeing everything different because you did something that you wasn't that you didn't think that you can do it, and then when you just do it, it's amazing because you say, okay, if I can make that, I'm gonna say I can make everything I just dream.
A day at Jones Beach with kids is made all the more memorable with an ice cream from the red carts that traverse the hot sand. Grateful are the parents who don't have to hike all the way back to the concession stands on the boardwalk to get ice cream. After all, who enjoys a long trek back to the beach blankets with melted ice cream in hand? The sound of the bells are a siren's call to children, and the magical, misty tendrils of dry ice cascading from the red cart beckons the children further. There's a wide variety of ice cream to choose from on a hot summer's day. It's a far cry from the days of illegal dealings of ice cream out of styrofoam coolers.
Yeah, so growing up here on Long Island, it was a lot of fun. Working on the beach, I was extremely close to my uncle. He was a hematologist, and he usually got out of work around 2 or 3 o'clock, and he would come down to the beach and hang out with me. And he'd hang out at the far east side of Field 6, and I'd always pass him, and we'd always talk, we'd joke around, and he would always tell me, you have to make this legal on the beach. If you can make ice cream vending on this beach legal, it's going to change your life. And I tried twice, and I was declined both times by the current concessionaires. So I tried getting it legalized, and I got a no both times. What I wound up doing was moving to South Florida. What I was doing at that time is I was doing little walk-on bit parts, some commercials, and this TV show called Kate and Allie. My agent at that time suggested I move down to Florida to be on this new program they were making called Miami Vice. So I went down to Florida, moved down there, and I kept in touch with my uncle at the same time. Kept coming back every summer to sell ice cream on the beach. I did that from 1986 through 1986 through 1994, and then I stopped altogether because I had a great life in Florida that I was building, and I kept in touch with my uncle all the time. And then we flash forward to 2005. He thinks that he has tuberculosis. I flew up from Florida to be with him when he went to the doctor's office to find out exactly what was going on in his body. And the devastating news was that he had stage 4 lung cancer, and he didn't have that much time to live. I asked him where he would like to go, and my uncle told me, he goes, you know what, take me to Jones Beach. And the date was January 9th, 2005. I took him right here to Field 6. It was a cold, gray, gloomy day. I didn't want to get out of the car. It was just a horrible day with horrible news. And my uncle looked at me, he says, you never did what I asked you to do. I was like, what was that? He said, you never made this legal, this beach business legal. And I told him that I tried. And he said, Rob, you didn't try hard enough. You should have tried a lot harder. I didn't know what to say to that. 3 weeks later, my aunt passed away. And I made a promise to him, to his open casket, that I was going to do everything within my power to make this legal. 7 years later, with the help of the park director, her name is Susan Giuliani, she gave me the green light to go forward if the concession also agreed to give me the green light. I'll never forget that moment. It was such an incredible moment when they said yes. fly up here and take over this business, make this business happen. So on opening day, I wore his sunglasses that he used to wear on the beach all the time. And it was a promise fulfilled. And believe me when I tell you, it touches me deep down in my soul every day that I'm here, just thinking, wow, this is something that he said that he wanted me to do. I promised him I was going to do it, and I actually went out there and I made it happen. Jeff Mason, who is the current park director at Jones Beach, back in the 80s, used to chase me on the beach, take all of my ice cream and give it to his employees to eat. The ironic thing is now we work hand in hand on everything that we do here on the beach. And it's cool just to see him and talk about old times, about him chasing me and me running away.
Hi, my name is Jeff Mason. I'm Park Director here at Jones Beach State Park. I started working for Parks back in 1983 as a seasonal employee here in the Central Mall area of the park. And I worked my way up the ranks and worked at various other parks, and then found myself coming back to Jones Beach as the assistant director, and 3 years ago or so became the director of Jones Beach, and now I'm full circle. I also, which I probably forgot to mention, I'm also the newly director of waterfront parks for the Long Island region, where I oversee all the waterfront parks that have lifeguards. I actually met Rob here as a seasonal employee because Rob would come here and he was the type of guy that was outgoing, funny, witty, but he had a hustle that he was doing here because he was selling his ice cream at a very young age. And back then, as it currently is today, if you do not have a license agreement with the state, it's considered illegal or an illegal vendor. And Rob would be here, and first got wind of the people that you see out here that's not wearing this type of uniform for the concessionaire. They're illegal and we need to report that and turn them in. And we would do that as we see it, even though at times they would try to make deals with the staff to offer them ice cream so they wouldn't say anything. But I was one of those employees that never wanted to get in trouble and always wanted to do the right things. And if I saw something that we weren't supposed to do, I would just report it and call it in. And Rob was very persistent at his hustle. He would come up with different ways. He would never come to the park in the same location back to back. He would switch it up. He would have people, like guys would have their shirts on and take their shirts off to blend in with the public. They act like they're here to be a regular beachgoer. But the one thing they couldn't give away is carrying those styrofoam coolers, which everybody used to have back in the days. And we would see Rob, and I would actually look for him. And if I noticed him, we would do what I call the chase. He would take off. His people that was with him would take off, and they would run. But you know, you can't run too fast on the sand, and especially when you're carrying a heavy cooler. So they never wanted to get caught. They would drop their cooler. So if they dropped the coolers, we had ice cream for the staff. We would pick it up, bring it to the zone office, and share it with the staff. And that got to a habit. And Rob, like I said, you know, he's a great thinker. He has plenty of ideas. It actually went to a period where we weren't seeing the vendors like that anymore. We couldn't find them. And by happens chance, by cleaning the beachfront, checking up on the beach, I saw smoke coming out of the sand. Went over to that thinking it's a fire or something, but it was like, how can it be? You don't see, you know, flames or anything. Kicked the sand a little bit. Next thing you realize, oh, it's a styrofoam cooler buried in the sand and they're using dry ice. And that was another way how he would plant his coolers on the beachfronts and sell them like by hand and not walking around with the coolers so they wouldn't be noticeable. But we caught wind of it at some point, and then we started taking binoculars, looking at the beachfront, and wherever we saw smoke coming out of the sand, we knew that was a stash.
Oh, I gotta tell you, those were fun times. So many fun, great memories selling ice cream here when I did it illegally. I used to carry around a styrofoam cooler. On top of that styrofoam cooler, I would have a towel. I would wear 2 different types of shorts, 2 different colors, a shirt and sunglasses and a hat. And the reason why I wore all that was because just in case the police saw me selling ice cream, they would radio to their other co-workers that, hey, okay, we've got him in sight. He's wearing blue shorts and a white shirt and a hat. So that's what I was assuming what was going on with the chatter on the walkie-talkie. So what I would do is I would ask some nice people that had lounge chairs if they could hold on to my cooler. I would take off my shirt, take off that first layer of shorts, put my towel out, take off the hat, and just lay down. And I tell you, there was so many times when the police would walk right by me, like feet away from me. And my heart was pounding. I'm like, oh my goodness, there are guys with badges and guns looking for me because I'm the Fudgy Wudgy man. So, but those were fun times, scary times, but fun times at the same time.
Yeah, I used to hide me from the police back in the 80s. I was here at Field 4 during the 80s. Yep, we were back when we were both young. Yeah. But we're still doing what we love,
Yes,
right?
we are.
We never, you know what they tell you? Never leave the boat. And this is the boat. Don't leave the boat. You've got a
Back
lot
in
of
the 80s, there were other illegal vendors on the beach selling ice cream, and you know, you would really have, you couldn't call anybody to say, hey, these guys are selling ice cream, can you get them off the beach? There were actual territory wars where you'd have to, you know, we threatened each other all the time. Nothing ever came of it, but you'd always threaten, you know, hey, I'm gonna do bodily harm to you if you don't get off the beach. There was one gentleman that came back one year. He was pumped up. He was working out the whole winter, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose this beach. He's gonna kick me off this beach. He became quite famous. His name was Jordy Belfort, also known as the Wolf of Wall Street. About 2 years later, I'm selling ice cream on the beach, and one of his partners that sold ice cream with him back then was walking on the beach, and I went up to him and said, hey, what are you doing? This is my beach. You guys said you weren't coming back. And he told me, yeah, you know what, Jordy is doing some stuff with the stock market, and he's doing phenomenal, and he remembers that you were a go-getter just like him, and he asked me to come on over and see if you'd be interested in coming down and working with him. At that time I was living in Florida and just coming back for the summer months, and I asked him, do I have to move back to New York or can I just do this from Florida? And he said, no, absolutely not. You have to move to New York and work out of the office over here. I declined. I didn't want to do it, and I'm sort of glad I didn't do it. So, although the movie makes everything look thrilling and fun and exciting, I couldn't live knowing that I was doing something illegally like that to other people. Well, when I started the business legally in 2012, I had these wheelbarrow type of carts with hawker bags. I put 3 hawking bags inside of these carts, and I had these big wheels on them, and the vendors would push these carts along the sand selling the ice cream. It was difficult, and I thought it was easy. And I remember going out there on the second day because the guys were complaining about selling ice cream, that the carts were difficult to push. I was like, no, let me show you how it's done. I got behind that cart and I started pushing it, and I actually lifted it too high and I flipped over on it. And I was like, oh great, here's the boss that everybody's supposed to follow, and I'm trying to explain to everybody the proper way to do it, and I do a tumble salt over the cart. It was just, it was a great experience that that will stay in my mind for a long time, and a very embarrassing experience. The challenges were that it was hard to keep employees. The employees would come and go. The turnover was, I started off with 13 vendors the first day that I started, and by the end of the day, I had 3 vendors left. Everybody quit. They were like, this isn't for me. And it was hard to to try to teach them the persistence that my uncle had taught me and say, no, you gotta go out there and do it. You have to do it. It's hard, but it's gonna get easier, I promise. So those were some of the problems. Oh, another big one was at that time there were 13 illegal vendors right here on Jones Beach. And it was my responsibility now to get them off the beach. Talk about the ironicities in life. It was just an incredible task that was put before me because I knew most of these vendors from way back when. Never in my mind did I thought that 20 years down the road, these same guys were still gonna be selling ice cream on the beach. What I wound up doing was offering them all jobs as managers so they could run it, and then I could go back to Florida and do what I was doing at that time, which was producing concerts, which I still do at this time. So a lot of these vendors were really unhappy with me because I was just taking away their livelihood. Like I said, I offered them all really well-paying positions, but none of them wanted to do that. And there was a short time period where the police would actually take me to my car because I was getting threatening calls from people that wanted to do me harm. And all of them saying, you're never gonna make it, you're not gonna last, you'll do one season and that's it, you're done. And here I am 11 years later, still going strong and growing all the time. Now the cars that you see out there now, well, I have a good mentor, is Izzy Epstein. He actually developed, he was contacted by Kodak to see if he could develop something to do away with the flash cube. And he developed the strobe. And now that's what is on every camera right now. You don't see the flash cube anymore. It's because of this gentleman, Izzy Epstein. And Izzy had approached me after looking at my carts and coming with me to the beach a couple of times. And he says, you know what? I'm gonna invent a cart for you that you're gonna love. This cart's gonna be phenomenal, it's gonna work perfectly, and it's gonna be easy to push. So I said, okay, let's see what you can do, Izzy. And he put together, in a matter of months, he had this cart together. It was phenomenal. However, there was a big cost to it. So what I wound up doing was contacting Unilever, which owns Good Humor, and I asked them if they would pay for the cost of these carts, and in return I would have them wrapped with their logo on them, and I would also sell their brand of ice cream. They agreed to it. We partnered up, and it was a phenomenal partnership, and we continued to grow with them. So I'm really excited for it. And Izzy, I go to Izzy's house every Monday. I have dinner with him, and we talk about life. He's a very successful entrepreneur, just like myself, and it's always great to listen to your elders because they always have information that they could give you that that's going to help you with your own life. One of the things I always do with my employees when they come here to this country to work, one of the first things I do is I ask them, I was like, you're 22, 23 years old. If you could go back in time to when you were 15 years old, what would you tell your 15-year-old self to make your life better? And then I tell them, unfortunately, we don't have a time machine. You can't do that. However, people that have already lived that life have already experienced your experiences, such as your parents and such as older people like myself, can tell you, about the pitfalls, what to watch out for, and look forward to, and what to avoid in your life. And that's what I do to my employees, and that's what I look for in Izzy and my elders as well. Famed walled city of Cartagena. This is the clock tower over here. This is my family's home, actually. This is where my mom and dad spent their youths. My mom was just incredible, full of insight, as my dad. My dad was also an entrepreneur, just like myself. He owned a Singer sewing machine store in Freeport, Long Island. And he taught me you have to be persistent in life, just like my uncle did. I had 3 great mentors growing up. When my mom passed in 2016, I decided I'm gonna go to Colombia to try to find some of the memories that I had with my mom I would go with her on occasion in the summertime to Colombia and visit relatives that she wanted me to get to know and to get to know the culture. You know, my parents lived here in the United States, but they were proud of their heritage, and they passed that to all of my siblings as well. So when my mom died, I decided I was going to go to Colombia, and it was almost instantaneously that first night that I was there. I was walking around, experiencing the culture, and I was like, wow, this is my life. This is a part of me, a big part of me. So I decided that I was going to make a move to Colombia, start a business there, and give back to the Colombian community. So this is the beach on Cartagena. You can see they have their vendors out here. They're all selling stuff. This guy's selling ceviche, which is like shrimp. And this guy over here is selling snow cones that they make for you right on the beach. This is Cartagena, where I once sold ice cream here as well. But then these guys, my competitors, were paying the police to kick me off the beach. In Colombia, it's difficult. When people say that the United States is the best place, the best country in the world, it's true. You know, from what I see, it's absolutely true. In Colombia, you're hindered by growing, by doing your own business, by expanding your horizons. It just seems that culture. It's not permitted there. They try to keep you down. They really do. So I started a business there. I've been having difficulties with it. Everybody has a payout that they want. I've been wanting to close it, but I'm stubborn at the same time. I need to make this thing work. It took me 7 years to get Jones Beach up and running, and now look at the company, how it's grown. And that's a battle I always have in my head, is I gotta make this happen. I gotta make it work. I've only been at it for, I guess, 4 or 5 years trying to make it work, and I'm gonna continue doing that. Although my wallet tells me I should stop, I just keep on going forward with it anyway. When my mom passed, and I went to Colombia, and I saw what was going on there, I was like, maybe I should bring a couple of Colombians here and show them the difference in the cultures. So I brought 4 Colombians over to work with me. I rented a house in Freeport. It had 3 bedrooms upstairs, and then there was a small little thin office that could have passed as a closet. So I slept in that office on an air bed, and my employees all slept in the bedrooms upstairs. And I remember that first night, I could hear through the air conditioning vents, they were calling their parents, they were crying, they were upset, and they were saying how much they miss home. And after hearing those conversations, I made it a promise to myself that I was going to make this the best experience that they could ever imagine, and that it was going to be worth their while, that they left their homes, they left all their friends and their family to come and be with me for a couple of months.
One of the benefits to work with Robert is that in our days off, like today, that is of course not a beach day, we enjoy doing a lot of things. For example, today we are riding bicycles. Tomorrow maybe we are going to go kayak or to the city. We make a lot of plans to have the motivations to all the vendors high and the morale, so you think it's very important to do that. And we really, really enjoy this work, and in our days off we enjoy being together and doing a lot of fun things like today planned.
Hey, this is how we spend our free time here, riding bicycles. Electric bicycles from Rob, Beach Highway, here at Picture Park. Come here.
People ask me what my secret is, I just smile and say, follow me. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Life's too short not to really live, I got a big heart, I can let you in. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. secret is I just smile and say, live for today. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the sun came up and I gotta say, see it in a whole new way. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Yeah. On top of the world. Yeah. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Yeah. On top of the world. Yeah. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Ask me what my secret is. On top of the world. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Ask me what my secret is. On top of the world. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sitting on top of the world, on top of the world.
It was a big one though.
From that, it was just incredible. I remember going back to Colombia and visiting the parents of these young students that came on over. And I remember one dad telling me, thank you so much. He goes, my son went to you as a boy and he came back as a man. That, wow, that hit me good. I was like, this is working. And I used the lessons that I learned from those 7 years of trying to get it legalized on the beach, and from what my uncle was telling me, you gotta be persistent, you have to be determined, you have to go forward with it, don't be afraid, you have to do it. And that's the basis of all these lessons that I try to teach these Colombians, is that exact same thing. And it's just overpowering the feeling, the emotional feeling you get knowing that this mission was accomplished. And every year you just want to make it more, you want to make it grow, you want more people to open up their eyes and just see the proper way to live. You got to live without fear, you got to live with, well, you're going to feel fear, but you got to go forward anyway. You got to think outside the box, and that's what I do with these Colombians. It's my way of giving back to my parents' home. I'm always reminded of the big monster that has been created here. We got Jones Beach, Robert Moses, we've got Heckscher State Park, we've got Hempstead Lake State Park, we've got Rockaway Beach, and we've also got Coney Island. So it's a monstrous task, and I couldn't do it without the help of all of my workers. So I've got managers at each beach, I've got employees at each beach. So all in all, we have about 50 employees that we have throughout the summer season. Some of them come and go. You try to weed out the ones that just aren't, this isn't for them right away, so you know, okay, they're out of the picture. Well, the hiring process for my Colombian staff usually begins in November. That's usually when it gets going. My managers that I have that always come back every year because they enjoy it. They'll go out and scout around and look for people that want to come to the United States. They'll go under some interviews. They need to be able to speak English and also know the denominations of the dollar. These are little tasks that we give them, a multiplication test, as well as certain scenarios that may occur. We want to know how they're going to approach these scenarios. And then they fill out, they must also have passports, and then we take their visa application, which is for an H-2B visa, that they have to, we have to submit it on January 1st, believe it or not. January 1st you have to put it. The United States gives 66,000 work visas out a year. And the earliest you could submit it is January 1st. And believe me, by January 3rd, they're all done. So they look at those visas, the United States Embassy in Bogota, and then they'll be picking, I'm assuming it's in Bogota, but it is the United States Embassy. And then they'll approve a certain amount of visas to go forward. Usually we have an answer by March. They're eligible to come as early as April 1st, but they're still students and they don't get out of school until the first or second week in June. So they usually arrive about the third week in June to start working here. What I usually do is I rent a huge home because I want to be involved with everything that's going on in their lives from that point on when they arrive, just to teach them about the culture, about life, and them to teach me things as well. So I rent this a huge house by Hofstra University, which I guess they rented out as a fraternity house during the school season, and it's a 9-bedroom, 4-bath house. They come into the States and then they'll all live there. And in addition to the expense of the house, now these guys don't have transportation to get around, so I rent 4 vehicles for them to get around town, to do their shopping and to also come to and from work. The way we have it set up is we have managers. For example, at Jones Beach, there's this lovely girl named Sonia. She manages my Jones Beach location. Now, in that house, we also have a house manager. And the house manager really oversees everything that takes place within the house. Garbage night, who's doing the dishes, the laundry, making sure everybody has their sheets clean. It's run like a business, but a family business, a really close, tight family business. At night, we talk about our adventures of the day and any correspondence we've had with American people. We also, on occasion, I'll take them to the beach. Just 3 nights ago, I took them right here at Jones Beach. It was 12 o'clock at night. We stayed about until 2 in the morning, just absorbing the sound of the ocean, the waves. It's just incredible. Listening to the stars. I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual, and I always like to be in touch with all my surroundings. And it's cool to watch them experience that and feel nature, the wind. It's just a great thing. Of course, the staff comes in. I do have a somewhat strict policy that they're not supposed to date each other, but it winds up happening. But it's cool. It's always great. It's fun. We go out to dinner. We eat sushi together. It's great to listen to their experiences, what they've done throughout the day, and then we all bond. And the summer, which I explained to them at the beginning, it's a bubble. It's a bubble that expands, and then a lot of stuff happens within that bubble. And then at the end of the season, the bubble bursts, and we all go back to our other normal, regular lives, whether it's in Colombia or in Miami or wherever it is that we're coming from.
When I saw that history, when I watched the video with Robert, I was like, man, this is crazy. Who imagined that the one dream, one thing that the ice creams can be legal, it becomes to think that the people, Colombian peoples come here and work for themselves, work for their college, work for their dreams, work from the things, their own stuff, will be truth. Like, you didn't imagine, you didn't realize that this is gonna happen. It's like, how can a little idea could be a big dream, and it becomes better every year that comes, every year. So it's kind of crazy because next year it will be better, and the next, and the next, and the next. So one of the things that I just learned about Robert is that he just followed his dreams and he never give up. For July 4th, I remember everyone was just happy because that day we will sell all the ice creams and we will need refills at the beach because the field is gonna be full. But I remember that like at 1 p.m. maybe, the clouds just comes to the beach and we were like, wow, the day is gonna be cloudy, and they just say that there's gonna be a storm and the beach is closed. So we were like, what are we going to do now? So we have all the ice creams. I just came with the outfit that just you can recognize that is the 4th of July. I mean, like, I just got all the United States things, like a hat of the United States and everything, and I was like, man, what is going on? What we are going to do this day is fail. I mean, so I just take my car. I just went to the office, and then I found Robert, and Robert was like really chill. Like, he was, hey, nothing. Don't worry. Don't give up, guys. This is just a start. Don't worry. It's just a storm. The people is going to come back. Still selling, guys. Still selling. Nothing is gonna happen. Trust me. And then we just kept selling ice creams. And then we just sell ice creams. We just start to know that the people were coming, and they come back. They came back, and we were like, what? The people are really coming back. I cannot believe this. And even if the day was cloudy, even if there was clouds in the sky, the people just don't go. The people just didn't go. So we were like, oh my God, Robert was right. And that's really, really, really awesome, because he knows that it was just a start. But it was still being, it's still being a really great day. I mean, like, it was a really great, even if it was a storm there. So we were like, okay, now I understand. I was like, okay, now I understand. I have to keep following my dreams. I have to keep selling ice cream, because not all is over. Not all is over. So that was one of the things that I just learned. One of the two or things that I was learned by Robert. I mean, like, I was really upset that day when the beach closed, but the people stay in the parking, waiting for the suns, waiting for the sun to come back to the beach. And when I just saw the people coming back, I was like, I can't believe it. Actually, I was a little bit closer to cry, but I just obeyed the words of Robert, and I just remembered he was right. It's just a storm. The people will come back, and we just get the best self of the month. And it was really, really cool. I mean, like, that's one of the things. I mean, it's gorgeous, it's awesome, it's amazing. It's cool. It's one of the things that I can stay in my heart. I can just save in my heart now. Follow my dreams, even if the storm is coming. The storm is not forever. The people is going to come back. The good things are going to come back. Yeah.
My name is Diego Alejandro Palomino Aguilar. I am 18 years old. Yeah, I'm from Colombia. In Colombia, I study finance in the Sergio Arboleda. I go past to the third semester. Here I come with my sister, Maria Fernanda. We try to enjoy this new experience for us. This is our first job for me, because in Colombia I have never have a job. So I'm happy to be here in New York, to meet new people, to have a good experience here in New York. About the job, I think that it's a hard job, because it's difficult to stay all the day down the sun. It's hot, the weather, to push the car is so difficult many times, but I try to do my best effort. I think that it's a job that has to, I don't know how to say that, like, it's difficult, but you have the attitude, like, to go to the people and say, hey, this is the ice cream, how are you? I want to, like, be happy and have a smile. like to the other people, and that's, I think that's the best feeling in this job. I feel happy, I feel like it's a good experience for me to meet Rob, to meet Sonia, that are so good people. Rob is like a so intelligent person, so smart. He have like good ideas. He have like many, I don't know how to say it, like in español es como ideas creativas, innovation ideas for the company, for the cars, for the ice cream, for all the people. Like he tries to acoger, yeah, I don't know how to say that in English, acoger a las personas, the people. He wants to try to involve everyone, like to have a good experience. I like that, Rob. It's a good boss. It's a so good boss.
Hi everybody, I'm Gustavo, I'm from Colombia. This experience, work with Rob here, it's an amazing experience in my life because I meet this country and it's a wonderful country. And I was, my first time working with Rob was in 2018 and selling ice cream. When I was selling my first time with Rob ice creams, and I'll go back to Colombia, I opened my restaurant. It was 5 years ago. Okay. Sell ice cream on the beach is very fun. You can meet new people all the time and different situations, and it's like vacations. You work, but it's like vacations for me. The sun, I love the sun, I love the beach, I love the landscape, and it's just funny. Sell ice cream with Rob. When I live with the staff and I meet the staff, it's like my family here in the United States. I have my family in Colombia, but I have a new family here with Rob and all the stuff. What?
Talk about your restaurant or your hobbies that you have.
My hobbies? Okay. I am bartender in Colombia, and my dream was have my own bar. In the same year when I was working the first time here, I opened my bar. Right now it's a restaurant, a bar and restaurant, but first was bar, just bar. I am DJ in Colombia, I'm chef, bartender, and I love my life in Colombia. I just enjoy my job. Yes, my dream, when I was a little child, my dream was my own pizzeria. This year, I become this dream. I have my own pizzeria right now. I love the pizza.
Tabitha's changing her mind. Ashley's going to say Tabitha was supposed to leave on the 12th.
Yeah, well, let's do it. 12th
of July.
Of July.
And she's still here.
I wanted to give you that good news.
University
Like,
or no? University?
No, working.
Working at home.
Yeah, she had to
I'm going to
convince
stay until 31st. No, until 1st of
September.
Wow.
Right,
Staying
right.
for the whole summer.
She was on the phone today. Yeah.
No.
She was on the phone today with
No.
the
food.
food
A lot of food.
Right.
Oh, okay.
The what?
¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? So, ¿cómo te voy? I'm so glad you're here because we have so much pizza.
It's something that, you wouldn't think about that, that Rob was doing this. He's actually helping other people, and, he's working with them, and he's bringing them over to the U.S., and they're getting the experience of working here and seeing the country, and then going back home and bringing back all the experiences of the things that they've learned over here back home. And he's that type of guy that, he wants to involve everybody, and he wants to do something everywhere. So he's a good guy with a good heart that's just trying to make better benefits for everyone. He's trying to build a business. He's teaching people how to build a business and how to communicate with other entities and profit from it. So that's a great thing that he does, and it works.
And he does it on your beach.
Yes. And you would think it's his beach.
Hello, I'm Phil, and I've been coming to Jones Beach here for many, many years, probably more than I can count. Particularly one fellow, I didn't know his by name or anything, but I did know he was the Fudgy Wudgy guy. He'd be walking around, hunched over with a cooler, a styrofoam cooler, a sand-colored blanket over it, and he'd be kind of calling out his Ipswich bars and everything else, and Fudgy Wudgy. Well, what were those ice creams? I can't even remember them now. This fella with these styrofoam buckets would walk around calling out ice cream names. People would wave him over, and he'd quietly hunch down, go down on his knees so the spying eyes of the state weren't seeing him, and he would try to get through a day of making some profits instead of them coming down, confiscating everything he had. The Jones Beach Club, an online Facebook page, came up, and in a little bit of time I became a moderator on that, and I enjoyed doing that, interacting with people, and it's been a good time. And with that, we had our meet and greets, and the meet and greets were wonderful, where people would come down together just to spend time talking to each other. And one of the places we went to was Field 10, bait and tackle shop over there, but the piers and seeing sunsets. That was something that drew us there, and it drew others also. And a little saying came up after a while. We come for the sunsets, but we stay for the people. And there were many, many good people that we met in all that time. And connect again, not just a name on Facebook and the Jones Beach Club, but real life people, real live people.
One thing I do want to talk about is it's cool because every year that I come back, I mean, this is my home. I live in Miami, I live in Colombia, but it's always my home. And I'm very proud to be a JBC member, a Jones Beach Club member. It's cool to hang out with them. During the winter months, I see everything that they're posting. I follow their photos, and it's cool to respond back. But it's so much better when I see them in person.
Support them if you can. You might say, "Oh, that's a lot for an ice cream." Listen, it's a lot of hard work. They're out there trying to do this, giving you a service. You're sitting there on the beach, and you don't have to get up and go somewhere else. They're bringing it to you. Support them whenever, any way you can. All right? Hey! I got this So anybody want it? We got it for you.
Go out to whatever a local band is playing and have a couple of drinks with them and just talk about life. I mean, you really get to know these people, and to me, they're like family. They're my summer family, and it's cool to hang out with all of them. It's cool to speak with Jeff Mina, who does the astrology, the meteorologist here at Jones Beach that does the weather reports. It's great to see him here every day and know that I'm always looking forward to his weather reports in the morning, and then talk to him afterwards about just life, about family life and everything else. It's cool to see Phil and Carolyn and follow them also on Facebook, but then sit down and talk to them, you know, heart to heart. And all the other people, Gary, Jocelyn, there's so many, Claudia, there's so many of them, Ginger, just great to hang around with. Roy is another guy. Just all cool stuff, and family. We all are connected from this beautiful, fabulous beach with this roaring tides coming in and the open sand. It's just awesome that's how we're all connected. And 4th of July. 4th of July is just another major event. This past 4th of July, there was lightning close by, so they closed the beach twice. My employees were all upset because they thought they were going to make some money, and I told them, don't worry, everybody has a big reason to come back, so the beach is definitely going to fill up, and it did, and they were all happy. We were all happy. Everything always works out the way you want it to be. So at the end of the season, you try to calculate how much ice cream you're going to need to get by until Labor Day. So I never get it right. My math is always wrong. I don't know if I do it on purpose or not, but I always end up with an abundance of ice cream after the season's done. And what I do is I donate it to the elders. I go to senior citizen homes and I give it to them. I mean, they've lived their life. They have so much to share with everybody. It's cool to speak with them and converse with them throughout the summer. And at the end of the summer, this is my gift to them. Is that I also give it to local elementary schools as they're all going back to school, you know, getting ready for the school year and everything. It's just something that I like to do. And I go back to Florida and Columbia feeling happy, accomplished, and knowing that that I had a voice this summer, and I brought a lot of smiles to people's faces.
Hi guys, my name is Ginger Bonner. I'm the activity director here at Amber Court Assisted Living. I've been here 25 years, and I'm also a lover of Jones Beach all my life. And I remember the Fudgy Wudgy Man vaguely. I didn't know him back then, but little did I know that years later, after hearing Fudgy Wudgy, Chippiches, frozen fruit bars, that I would meet this man, Rob Guerra, who has a business called Superstar Productions, Beachside Valet, and he sells ice cream on the beach. It sounds simple, but it's more than just ice cream on the beach. He brings in people from Colombia, young people, and inspires them and lets them know that they could do anything they want. He even takes them skydiving so that they know they can achieve their dreams, think out of the box. Strawberry. You want chocolate? Chocolate or strawberry? Chocolate or strawberry? John, chocolate or strawberry? Chocolate or strawberry? Strawberry? Chocolate or strawberry? Chocolate? Gloria, chocolate or strawberry? Do you like chocolate or strawberry? Chocolate or strawberry? Look, right there. So anyway, little did I know, and a couple of years ago, I was going to meet Rob. I actually met him at the band shell, but he holds all these beach buggies at the East Bathhouse, and he ended up really making a difference, not only in my life, and not only in the life of the young people from Colombia, who are all so polite and charming and kind. They're just amazing young people that I've had the pleasure to meet during the last few years. But he's also made a difference right here at Amber Court with the residents, giving out ice cream and coming to visit them. And he's even given us video tours of Colombia and showed us around Cartagena. And it's just been very special having him in our lives. How's that?
That's good.
Some people, we had to see when we went to the beach.
Yeah.
We went to the beach, and I let the security know. You know, the maintenance, the maintenance, and we were coming, and when the bus pulled up, all the maintenance men, all the lifeguards were lined up like soldiers, waiting for us to come. And this didn't happen years ago before I knew him. I was gonna say security, but all the people who worked there with those shirts, they were all lined up and they escorted each resident from the bus to the beach, took out their chairs, remember? And then there comes Rob, and there comes Mike to feed me, the lifeguard. He came with his buggy, you know, whatever, the golf cart thing. Then Rob came with his buggy, and we all got in 2 or 3 at a time and rode down the beach. Remember, Phyllis?
Take away.
Thank
Okay, you better let all
Thank you, Rob, for the ice cream. Most delicious ice cream.
Right.
And I really mean it. I loved it. Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'll leave.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you for the ice cream. Just giving us ice cream.
Thank you for the ice cream. Me.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Hi. My name is Arlene Delicat. I live at Amber Court for 5 years. Everything is terrific, but once we met Rob, he made it super perfect. He does everything for us. He comes with ice cream, but before he even gives us the ice cream, once we got to know him, we loved him from the bottom of our hearts. The man is gold, and I love him for everything he does and says, and we love him when he comes to Amber Court. He's terrific.
Great.
Oh, back in 2012 when I initially got the approval for this, to do this on the beach, I'll never forget. At that time I was producing concerts. I was working with some really big name people. Journey was one of them. Grand Funk Railroad was another one. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. Now imagine this. At that time I sit with my wife and I tell her, hey, guess what? I'm going to New York to sell ice cream. She thought I was nuts, just like everybody else. She's like, what are you doing? You're going to leave this career that you have to go sell ice cream? I was like, no. This is the promise. This is the promise I made to my uncle. I'm going to get this up and running, and I'll be right home. Give me 1 month. I'll come back. Well, it didn't work out that way. I came on up here. I got the business up and running. The state loved what they saw and what I was doing. And right away, I was offered Robert Moses State Park. And then after that, we've grown every year. Now we're in Rockaway, we're in Coney Island, and the business continues to grow. I like kayaking, so I started doing kayaking. I have e-bikes that we rent. We have solar-powered Surrey bikes. It's all innovation. Whatever is the newest, hottest thing, I want to be on top of that, and I want to make it happen, and I want to make it happen right here in New York. I see the business continue to grow. I don't believe in retirement. I'm gonna work as long as this continues to work and this continues to tick, and I'm gonna continue to make this company Beachside Valet grow. I want to make it. When you think of the beach, oh, Beachside Valet is gonna be there. Beachside Valet is going to have a VIP section set up on the beach. Beachside Valet will have solar-powered umbrellas so you could charge your phones while you're hanging out and relaxing on the beach. There's so many ideas, so many things that are yet to come. Just keep an eye. We're going to continue to grow. I'm very confident in that. And to think it all started just because of a promise that I made to my uncle.
That Fudgy Wudgy guy, he did his thing. He was here, he was gone, didn't know him, just a guy with a cooler. But then a little later, started seeing red carts coming along the beach. Little bells ringing, and those same familiar words of different ice creams belted out. People selling ice cream. And that was good. It was a service brought to us on the beach, especially a guy like me who didn't want to keep on going back and forth with my caravan of kids and everything else. The service came down to the beach, bought our ice cream, and what was really a favorable thing to me is that most of these people were young people just starting their professions, just starting to work. And there's a fellow, Rob. He was behind these red carts. That was the Fudgy Wudgy guy. And somehow in time, through hopes and wishes of his uncle, became legit here at Jones Beach. He got licensed, insured, and all that other kind of things. And that's the guy behind those red carts. So he brings service to us. He brings young people jobs and opportunity, and he gives it all with a very optimistic and positive spin on things because he believes it and he knows he's lived this of walking these beaches and knowing that you can move up from there. And that's Rob. Rob's a great guy. I've gotten to know him much better over the years, and he's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful man who encourages young people to work hard and to start their profession and whatever they're going to do as entrepreneurs or whatever in life. Their ice cream's real good too.
What a great feeling of accomplishment. I tell you, every day that I wake up, every day that I'm here on the beach, all I think about is, wow, you put your heart, your soul, your mind to whatever it is, you can make it happen. And that's my story on this, and I try to teach that to the people that work with me. You know, I take them underneath my wing, and I just show them, hey, I know it's tough out there. I know it's hard to push a cooler. I know those things weigh 175 pounds, but do it. And then don't just focus on today and making sales. Use that in everything that you do in your life, because that's going to help you shoot for the stars and make all your dreams and all your wishes come true, just like it did for me.
I'm sitting on